The alien warlord Zyrek the Eternal stood before the shattered ruins of Earth's last city, his biomechanical army closing in. Humanity had fought harder than any species before them, but it was over. The great fleets of the United Dominion had cracked their planet, their armies had been ground to dust, and their leaders had perished in orbital fires. And yet, the humans still resisted. A lone figure stood atop the rubble, a battered exosuit hissing steam, blood dripping from a cracked visor. Captain Marcus Stroud, the last soldier of Earth. Zyrek grinned. Pathetic, he spat. You are alone. Your species is extinct. Marcus laughed, a ragged, blood-choked sound. You think this is over? Zyrek tilted his head, amused. Your people are dead, human. Marcus reached into his suit and pulled out a detonator. Zyrek tensed, scanning the device. No explosives. No EMP. Just a button linked to an unknown frequency. Marcus smirked. You aliens never understood what made us dangerous. Zyrek sneered. And what's that? Marcus pressed the button. Above the planet, the sun flickered. Zyrek's sensors screamed as something vast, something impossible, shifted in the heart of Sol. We never fought to win, alien. Marcus grinned. We fought to take you with us. Light exploded from the sun. A human-built stellar weapon, buried inside the star for decades, activated. Zyrek's final thought before being atomized was sheer horror. Humanity hadn't been fighting to survive. They had been fighting for checkmate. And as the solar system burned, humanity's last message echoed across the stars. If we can't have Earth, neither can you. Zyrek's fleet was gone. His empire, shattered. But Marcus Stroud? He lived. The moment before the sun's detonation, his suit's failsafe activated, an experimental matter displacement drive ripped him from the battlefield and hurled him light years away. He awoke in the void, orbiting a dead planet, his suit barely functional. Humanity was gone. The war had been won by destruction. Or so he thought. A blinking light on his wrist pad. A transmission. Faint, ancient, repeating over and over again. Project Lazarus, status active. Survivors located. Awaiting commander authorization. Marcus's eyes widened. The war wasn't over. Humanity hadn't just built a weapon to kill the enemy. They had built a way back. Somewhere, beyond the ruins of the Sol system, humans had survived. And now, the last soldier of Earth had a mission. Find them. Rally them. And remind the galaxy why you never, ever count humanity out. Marcus Stroud floated in the black, staring at the transmission. Survivors. Somewhere out there, humans had made it. That meant something bigger. Humanity wasn't extinct. Not yet. His suit's power reserves were failing, his oxygen supply critically low. But the message was coming from nearby, relatively speaking, a system just 2 light years away. With a final override command, Marcus engaged the suit's emergency thrusters, aiming for the dark silhouette of a derelict vessel in the distance. The wreck had no power, no running lights, just the faint, pulsing transmission beacon. Project Lazarus. Awaiting commander authorization. He latched onto the hull, forced open an airlock, and stumbled inside. The ship's interior was dead, no power, no warmth, just long-forgotten corridors lined with dust-covered consoles. But deep in the core, he found it. A stasis chamber. Row after row of cryopods. Hundreds of them. Marcus wiped away the frost from the nearest pod, his breath catching. A woman's face. Peaceful. Frozen in time. He checked the system. Cryogenic status, stable. Survival rate upon reactivation, 92%. Designation, Lieutenant Commander Evelyn Carter. Marcus grinned. Guess I'm not alone after all. One by one, the pods hissed open. Gasping, coughing, survivors woke up. Engineers. Soldiers. Scientists. People who had been put in stasis before Earth fell, waiting for a moment just like this. Evelyn Carter's eyes fluttered open, locking onto Marcus. "Status report," she rasped. Marcus smirked. "Bad news? Earth's gone. Good news? We're still here." A murmur spread through the waking soldiers. Confusion. Fear. But also something else, determination. The ship's systems groaned as power flickered to life. Evelyn glanced at the console. "Where the hell are we?" Marcus tapped a flashing alert. A classified installation. Some kind of backup plan. She exhaled sharply. "Then let's find out what our ancestors left us." The Lazarus ship was just the beginning. As they scanned the system, the truth hit them like a meteor strike. Hundreds of ships. Buried hangars. Weapons caches stocked with technology generations ahead of anything the Dominion had ever seen. It wasn't just a single outpost. It was a rebirth chamber. Humanity had planned for extinction. But they had also planned for revenge. With the fleet awakened, the survivors prepared. The galaxy thought humanity was dead. The Dominion thought they had one. They had no idea what was coming. Evelyn stood at the bridge of the resurrected warship Iron Requiem, Marcus beside her. She looked at him. "What now, Captain?" Marcus's grin was feral. "We remind the galaxy why you never kill a species that refuses to die." The engines roared to life. The Lazarus fleet was awake. And humanity was coming back. Not to survive. Not to exist. To conquer. The Iron Requiem tore through the void, leading the Lazarus fleet into the unknown. Marcus stood on the bridge, staring at the tactical display. The Dominion thought they had crushed humanity, erased it from history. But ghosts don't stay buried. The fleet was small, but every ship was a masterpiece of forgotten technology. Humanity's last scientists had designed weapons never seen in war, systems that broke the known laws of physics. And now, those weapons were pointed at the stars. Evelyn Carter turned from the command console. "We need a target." Marcus didn't hesitate. Dominion High Command. Murmurs rippled through the bridge. A direct strike at the enemy's heart? Evelyn smirked. "I like the way you think." They had no empire. No homeworld. Nothing left to lose. And that made them unstoppable. The Dominion's capital, Xiphos Prime, was a fortress world. A planet of warships, dreadnoughts, and orbital defenses capable of repelling entire armadas. But they weren't expecting ghosts. The Lazarus fleet emerged from hyperspace like a spectral storm, cutting through the void silent, fast, and merciless. Dominion sensors flared. Sirens screamed. A confused transmission came through. "Unidentified fleet, stand down or be destroyed." Marcus leaned forward. "You destroyed us first. Then, hell rained down." Ships blinked across the battlefield, using gravitic slipspace drives to move faster than enemy fire. Experimental rail cannons ripped through dreadnought hulls like paper. Dominion warships exploded before they even knew they were under attack. Within 7 minutes, the first wave of planetary defenses fell. Within an hour, Dominion High Command had issued a planetary lockdown. And within a day, the capital was burning. But this wasn't a battle. This was a message. The Dominion's leaders, the same ones who had ordered Earth's destruction, cowered in their bunkers. They thought humanity had been wiped out, a dead species. Now, that dead species was at their doorstep. A final broadcast crackled across every Dominion channel. Marcus Stroud appeared on screen, his battle-worn armor covered in blood and dust. He stared into the camera with cold, human fury. You tried to end us. You thought we would disappear. But humanity doesn't die. We endure. We adapt. And now? His eyes burned like a star about to go supernova. Now we're here to end you. Dominion fleets mobilized across the galaxy, preparing for war. But it was too late. Because this wasn't a war. This was an extinction event. And humanity was the executioner. One by one, Dominion worlds fell. The Lazarus fleet wasn't an empire. They didn't conquer. They didn't hold territory. They hunted. They burned. They eradicated. For every human world the Dominion had destroyed, 10 of theirs turned to ash. For every city they had crushed, a starbase vanished from the sky. Marcus stood over the ruins of a Dominion palace, helmet under one arm, staring down at the last surviving warlord of the enemy species, Zyrek's brother, Zaltor. The alien trembled. "Please," he rasped. "Mercy." Marcus exhaled, crouching down to look him in the eyes. "Mercy?" He tilted his head. "You didn't give us mercy when you burned Earth." He stood up, signaling to his soldiers. "Erase them." Gunfire echoed in the ruined streets. And just like that, the Dominion was no more. The war was over. But the galaxy was watching. 1,000 species had witnessed humanity's return. Some feared them. Some admired them. And some whispered in the dark, knowing that the balance of power had changed forever. Humanity had been the underdog once. Never again. Marcus looked out into the void, standing on the bridge of the Iron Requiem. Evelyn Carter stood beside him. "So what now?" He smiled, a ghost of Earth, reborn as a conqueror. "Now?" He clenched his fists. "Now we build." And as the last embers of war faded, the first human empire in history rose from the ashes. Not as survivors. Not as refugees. As rulers.